Yo, what's up, guys? Teacher Polo here, and today we're reacting to this coffee request. Thank you for the coffee and thank you for the request. This one comes from Susan, and Susan shows us how Germans live in their homes. This is from a channel called DW Euromax, German Homes, How the Germans Live. Let's check this out. Let's go.
Did you know that in German addresses, the street name comes first and then the number, and the postcode or zip code comes before the city? And check out the doorbells, no numbers.
I think that kind of makes sense for the street number to come first, right? I don't know. What do you guys think? Because you look at the street, you know where you're going, then you look at the number after you arrive at the street just to know where it is. Or, I don't know. Does that make sense?
And the postcode or zip code comes before the city. And check out the doorbells, no numbers. Instead, they're labelled with the surnames of the people living there, which strikes me as slightly unusual for this privacy-loving nation.
It is
Anyway,
unusual,
for today's
yeah.
episode, we're at home with the Germans. German homes come in all shapes and sizes. They also have pretty logical names. A house at the end of a row of houses is called an end.
Thank you so much, Bob Tarzan, for this coffee. Guys, this is how you request videos. Go over to Buy Me Coffee.
They also have pretty logical names. A house at the end of a row of houses is called an end of the row house, or ein Endhaus.
Nice.
A house where one family lives is called a one-family house, ein Familienhaus. Large houses split up into several apartments are called Mehrfamilienhäuser, or multi-family houses.
That's
and that's
very
the most common
smart.
type of home here. As I've told you before, Germans usually know the exact measurements of their home in square.
You guys live together? Multi-family houses? Those are the most common houses. Those look very beautiful. Is it that big? Or it's a complex of apartments, isn't it?
Common type of home here. As I've told you before, Germans usually know the exact measurements of their home in square meters. The average German home is a little over 90 square meters for 2 people. 5 million Germans live in a WG or Wohngemeinschaft. That's shared accommodation. And only 0.5% of households have 3 or more generations living under one roof. Cold rent means without bills, and warm rent includes costs for certain utilities and services. Germany has long been a nation of renters. Less than half the population owns their own home, and in some larger cities that drops to a quarter. This is in part a hangover from recent history. During the war, a lot of private property was destroyed, so rental apartment blocks were built as a quick fix. In East Germany, people rarely had the
Thank you for the follow, Sammy. Thank you.
option of purchasing their own property, and state-owned property was heavily subsidised. These days, some people prefer the flexibility of renting. Germans do, after all, move an average of 6 times in their life. But
They move
most people
6
cite
times?
spiralling house prices and hefty deposits as the main hurdle to owning their own home. That being said, renting isn't always a particularly cheap alternative. In Munich, renters are shelling out around 17 euros per square metre. Berlin has introduced a controversial 5-year rent freeze to try and get its prices under control. And some people are getting creative, shunning traditional living models in favour of houseboats, camper vans, communal living projects, or tiny...
We just hit our follower goal. Thank you so much. That is awesome. So this is interesting. There was a 5-year rent freeze. That's so cool. By the way, guys, welcome. Wait, subscribe at tier 1 for 6 months. That is so cool. Thank you for the sub. That is so cool. Thank you. So if you guys don't know, Semi was kind of like my first teacher to become a teacher. So he was my teacher coach, I would say. So shout out to Semi. Thank you so much for joining us. We're recording a video right now. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Thank you for the 6-month sub.
Traditional living models in favour of houseboats, camper vans, communal living projects, or tiny houses.
Ein Tiny House ist ein kleines Häuschen, meistens aus Holz gebaut, zwischen 10 und 20 Quadratmeter auf Rädern, auf einem Pkw-Anhänger, ist aber auch eine Bewegung. Ja, ist eine Bewegung, die vor ungefähr 15 Jahren in Kalifornien in den USA eingesetzt hat.
Und wie ist es dann nach Deutschland gekommen?
In Deutschland gab es ja schon immer durch diese Kleingärten eine Tiny House Affinität. Deutsche und auch Holländer, die ja sehr viel Camping machen und Caravaning, die haben eine hohe Sympathie für kleine Räume.
Welche Vorteile bietet ein Tiny House?
Wenn wir nicht mehr so viel Platz beanspruchen, können wir nicht mehr so viel kaufen. Wenn alle Menschen auf einmal in Holz Gebäude leben würden, hätten wir nicht so eine CO2-Katastrophen. Und wenn wir nicht mehr in anonymen Hochhäusern
How
leben
big
wollen,
is a
sondern
tiny
eher in
house, though?
kleineren Strukturen, dann ist das soziale Miteinander auch ein anderes.
Anyway, back to the status quo for now. Here are
I feel like German houses, or at least apartments, are bigger than UK houses or apartments, because they said that the average is 90 square meters. That's pretty big. I don't know. I don't think it's as big as the United States. Sammy could help me. How big are the houses in the US? But also, let me know in Scandinavia, guys, how big are your houses? Because I feel like 90 square meters is quite big. It's actually a decent size.
Das soziale Miteinander auch ein anderes.
Anyway, back to the status quo for now. Here are my personal picks for a few things that make a home very German. House shoes, bottled water, sparkling of course, weird little mini
Sparkling,
forks.
of course.
If the cakes aren't mini, then why are the forks? Solid roller blinds that block out
I'll tell you
every
why.
last
I'll tell you why. The forks are small because you eat them in small pieces and you savor it more and it lasts longer, I guess.
aren't mini, then why are the forks? Solid roller blinds that block out every last scrap of light.
Nice.
One of these retro-looking wooden measuring sticks.
How does it block every scrap of light if it has holes in it?
Last scrap of light. One of these retro-looking wooden measuring sticks. A cellar with caged-off storage spaces. A beloved
Do the holes
balcony.
close
That's
when
the
you
most
pull it all the way
sought-after home
through?
feature. 2 duvets, very practical, and unwieldy, squashy, frankly ridiculous square pillows.
Oh, wait a second. Do those pillows actually help? Like, do you get backaches or like, does your neck? 22 square meters? A tiny studio apartment, 22 square meters. That is so small. That is like a cubicle. That is that's just a room. Wow. How, like, I feel like it's so it feels like it's so convenient though. If you're single and you want to live in a small, like 22 is quite small, isn't it? But it feels convenient. I would definitely go for it if I was single.
Squashy, frankly ridiculous square pillows. Newcomers often have a few surprises when they move into
Exactly,
their first place in
Chant.
Germany. First of all, don't expect a house or flat to be furnished, even if you're renting. And the biggest shock of all might come when you enter the kitchen. Yep, it's totally normal to take your entire kitchen with you when you move. Counters, cooker,
What?
sink,
Really?
everything. One good thing about moving here is that it's
That's
a team
crazy.
effort. It's absolutely the done thing to enlist the help of all your friends. The only payment required is beer, pizza, and the knowledge that you'll return the favour. Of course, it wouldn't be Germany without a good set of rules. The small print in a rental contract can include such gems as the exact level of noise you're allowed to make, how often you have to air your flat out, and the requirement to repaint every room a neutral colour upon your departure. If you've noticed anything else about the German way of living, leave me a comment below. Thanks for dropping by.
That's pretty cool. So you guys don't have heated floors? A question I have also is, do you guys have electric showers? Like, I've recently learned that electric showers is a Brazilian invention, but I don't know if anywhere else in the world have them. And why don't you have them? It feels like they are really effective, but really dangerous. The thought of an electric shower might even shock you. See what it did there? See what I did there? But but it is a real thing, and it is the #1 most used shower in Brazil. Electric faucets? No, just electric showers. We don't have hot water in our faucets. Yeah, that's a big downside. Or if a house does have that, it's probably gas. Not sure. But it's only showers. We could do a video on that when we look at how Brazilians live. But this is German, how Germans live in their homes. So thank you so much to Susan for requesting this video and showing us this video. It was fun, informative, and educational. And I hope you guys are enjoying these reactions. So thanks, Susan. Everyone, W Susan in the comments. Like, subscribe, join us on Twitch. We're live right now. And go over to Buy Me a Coffee to request videos, or go over to Patreon. The link is in the pinned comments to watch full movie reactions, shows, and series. Take care for now. Bye-bye.